Well, hello everybody, it's Patrick Galactic and we're back for another edition of Find Your Weird. Yes, I'm very stoked to be back with you. I am also very tired today. I slept like shit. What else can I say, folks? But I am very, very happy to be here, and I think I'll get pretty fired up as we go along. We got some fun stuff to do tonight that I planned for us. You know, I always plan a little adventure for us, and it's always a lot of fun. We're gonna see a video from a band called Sea Life that we showed once on Weirded Nights. That we show this shit once and then we never show it again, and so this is a video that I think is worth repeating. Also, Terry Monstrosity was on Converge with Trey Holiday today. I'm super stoked about that. Super proud of Terry and super happy to have an artist that we love so much like Terry Monstrosity finally get a chance to have a little forum for himself. So we'll watch his appearance with Trey today. I'm going to play you some music. I got questions for you. We can do any kind of wild research you want to do. If you've always had a question that you want to answer, I can look up the answer while we're on the show. I mean, we can do research. We can do all kinds of shit, friends. But what we need to do, and that is the principal reason we are here, is to find our weird. So, whatever your weird is tonight, we're going to find it, friends. We're going to find it. And we're going to start the night off with another quote from the man himself, Kurt Vonnegut. To practice any art, no matter how well or badly, is a way to make your soul grow. So do it. Once again, to practice any art, no matter how well or badly, is a way to make your soul grow. So do it. Pretty self-explanatory. If you haven't picked up on the themes of Weird at Night, Find Your Weird, anything where I'm on the screen jibber-jabbering at you, it's really that art is for everyone. It's not something for professionals to do. It's not something to be put behind a gate and you have to pay this price to experience art. It's for everyone. You don't have to be a professional or even good at it. In fact, if you're trying to get good at something, you'll probably start off being pretty bad at it. And you have to just push through. Every day is a little more incremental gain. And so that's worth remembering, I think. But just my little spiel here. The most important part of Find Your Weird is this community. Ask me whatever you want. We're here to hang out. I always have stuff for us to watch and talk about, but this can go anywhere. We can look up stuff together. We can let the chat guide the flow of the show. There's no script here on Find Your Weird. Anyone have a topic they've always wanted to know about, but if you're too lazy, do you want me to do it? Like I said, just add me in the chat. Give me something to look into. It's not going to get us suspended, and I will happily do it, friends. I will happily do it. Right now, it looks like we got Freddie Dalmastar. We got Alex F&V. The mod of justice has returned. And Better Kitty Meow in the chat. So happy to be with you all. Yeah, this is such a pleasure just to be with you all. So I have a question, and I am going to try to put it on the screen. Give me just a sec here, friendos. I could have programmed all of this ahead of time, but that would have required preparation and, organization, and good luck with that. Good luck with that! What? All right, and I'm going to widen it, pull it down. Oh no, that was a mistake. All right, the question is, what makes you feel free? What makes you feel free? And that doesn't necessarily have to be anything pertaining to anything specifically. It doesn't have to be art. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. What do you do that makes you feel free when you do it? At me in the chat, and I will read those responses as they come in. For me, recently, it's running. I've been running. I've been getting in shape, trying to get my shit together. Alex F&V says, screaming the best lyrics of a song I love. That makes me feel free too, Alex F&V. I totally agree. But for me lately, it's running. And it's funny because I started running recently after about a decade of doing nothing, just sitting on my ass, or just being very busy with projects that require me to be very sedentary while my mind is very productive. The first few minutes of every run are really rough. My ankles are pretty janky. My body's like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck are you doing? But after about 5 minutes, everything adjusts. My body kind of dials itself in, and everything starts kind of lining up the way it's supposed to. I always put on some driving music, and today it was Oracular Spectacular by MGMT from way back in 2007, which feels like 1907 or 1807 now. But I love that record. It is one of the best combinations of like electronic and retro rock. I personally prefer it to like something like Tame Impala, which I also like. But that first MGMT record is pretty magical. So I'm running like, ooh, girl, shock me like an electric eel. And I'm running and I'm like air drumming while I'm running. Yeah, I'm a really cool guy, let me tell you that. Last time I ran, I was listening to Paranoid by Black Sabbath, which I hadn't turned on willingly since maybe the age of 24 or something. I love that album. I just have heard it so many times. It's like permanently installed in my brain. It's almost like I never need to listen to it. Alex says, that's a jam. Electric Feel, baby. MGMT, that album just has a bunch of choice cuts on it. I mean, it is a really, really good record. But today was my 5th run since I started, and I could actually push myself harder, set new challenges for myself, and I did. I ran a lot more than I walked, and I'm feeling really different. I forgot the feeling of making strides and like surprising myself. And I get it if exercise ain't your thing, but it is like nature's antidepressant. Whether you run or you do something else, getting outdoors and getting some space of your own can be extremely helpful. It really can. Better Kitty Meow says, dancing makes me feel free. I happen to know that to be true. But yes, dancing is an incredible way to kind of feel free and let go for a minute. A very wise kitty once told me, when I was kind of in a place where I was experiencing a lot of anxiety, I was having a very hard time being present. A very wise kitty once told me, to get back in your body, you got to do something physical. And made me run for like half a block. And sure enough, in the midst of kind of a panic attack, I kind of came back to myself. And that's really what got me started down this whole line of thinking, is like, you know what? Physical stuff is good for me. I am a person who like kind of requires motion, if that makes sense. When I'm in motion, I feel a lot better. Better Kitty Meow says, punch a pillow, which has also been some of Better Kitty Meow's advice. And I have done. I feel a little weird doing it, but I have punched a pillow when I felt really mad. A couple things recently. I just last night had a chance to see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and I will say it was a good film. I did enjoy it quite a lot, but I'm still kind of working out how I felt about it. No, I won't give away anything at all. I will just say it is a really long movie. And when you're constructing stories and you're telling stories, one of the things that I would critique about this movie is that as long as it was, there was still stuff in it that either needed to be explained more or should have been just maybe cut from the film. It's still very much worth seeing. But I have to say that I did enjoy the first Black Panther a lot more. That said, it is a beautiful tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Have any of you seen it? And if so, what did you think? I love Marvel. I love Marvel movies. By and large, they're the only movies that I really go out of my way to see in a theater. And so I still highly recommend the film. Like, it is a good movie. But I do think this one, there's so much going on in it. In much the way Marvel did with like Endgame and Infinity War, which was kind of a master class in intertwining all these overlapping stories. Black Panther almost tries to do the same thing, and I feel it fell a little bit short of that mark, but it was still really good. So definitely worth your time to check out. Very inspiring. I did tear up. Things that involve death tend to inspire a lot of emotion in me. To give you some perspective, I saw the Thor movie with the Razor Sharp and my buddy Mike a few months ago, and it literally brought me to my knees. So I'm a little extra emotional around the topic of death and the loss of loved ones, but Gotta say, it still is a really, really good movie. Definitely go check it out. Anybody else want to tell me what makes them feel free? While you think about that, let me ask you something else. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? And once again, I'm going to put that on the screen. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? Aha, I know how to spell. Yeah. People tell me I don't know how to read, but yeah. So I will tell you what I would change when we come back. But for now, we had a blast this past Saturday for Weird at Night episode 224. And in about 3 minutes, I'm going to give you a little taste of what it was like. Like this.
What fire springs forth? What bile does bubble?
It's your band, the Big O.
It's a 5-star shit show and we haven't even started, really.
To dream of vast horizons of the soul.
Dreamers are the ones who push the limits, the lines, the ones who rearrange the intractable, the ones who bring new perspective, who create hope where toxicity dwells. It's so adorable. Just look at it.
I implore you to stay in. Said you let it go, but you need to stay. Plenty time been away from me. Yeah. You said you need to stay away from me. Ooh-wee.
Very often one is called the cat's meow. Well, I feel like I'm the cat's meow when I wear this wonderful bib.
I'm gonna say Metamucil. It's not all that weird.
What do you want to watch before we go to sleep? Why don't we just watch Plastic Bear with Julie?
Plastic Bear's like
Let's watch that.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get out of here and watch something else.
Life is feeling with your heart. You know, as much as you get your mind involved, a lot of the vibrations that are really here are interacting with our hearts.
That was like beautiful in Shit Plays in Space. Do you ever want to do something just because you can and it makes your teeth look kind of terrifying? We have a block of truly inane and insane discoveries for you now.
Triple C. Coming soon.
I'm a wild animal with a smell.
I know it's all a wild web of perfect design. And after we exit this stage and leave our shadows behind, we raise a glass together as one being.
You are watching Weird at Night.
He is inspired by minimalism and the offspring of bebop jazz in the 1960s.
Sounds like our friend Steve Germany has a scheme up his shoe, eh?
When the sunshine stolen, taking oxygen, then drop a pin cause I'm Columbine bowling.
But I also found out that was the same name as the cat on the Smurfs. And what is his primary objective? Is to catch little Smurfs and kill them for Gargamel.
Why? Don't these people realize they're being fooled?
Yeah.
The boulder on your shoulder comes between us. Try to roll it over, but it's too rough.
Spaceship Trucker gifted a sub to Matty O'Shea, who then gifted it to username Fred Durst. Fred Durst, you're a subscriber to Weird at Night. When I have a barracuda attached to my pants and it's biting really hard.
You're weird.
All right, yes, we had a blast this past Saturday on Weird at Night, so make sure you tune in this Saturday for episode 225. 225, friends. We are really flying down the road. These episodes don't multiply as fast as they used to. We used to do 2 episodes of Weird at Night a week. And then I realized I'm a mortal human being and that I was probably going to break in half if I continued to do that. So we do Find Your Weird on Tuesday and we do Weird at Night on Saturday. And I really, honestly, I love the balance. I love being able to riff with you all and not, kind of feel this like insane pace that we keep on Weird at Night. It's nice to have a balance between the two. So Euphony of the Month is in the chat, and anybody who's just joined us, one question I asked at the very beginning of the show was, what makes you feel free? What makes you feel free? At me in the chat if you'd like to answer that. But another question I asked right before we went to that was, if you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? And Alex F&B responded, I would change the need to tear down things people don't understand. I agree. And especially when it relates to things that are like subjective, that are matters of entertainment. That shit is in the eye of the beholder, friends. No one has an absolutely correct assessment or opinion of those things. What's up? Anarchy and Bedrock is in the chat. Hello, Anarchy and Bedrock. Glad to have you with us. So if you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? Alex would change the need to tear things down people don't understand. I am about to say something that would be very unpopular and probably make me a complete pariah in the world, but I would make every cell phone brick after 3 hours of daily use. Yes, after you use your phone, after you... I'll come back to that. Euphony of the Month says, first thing that comes to mind, peeing in the woods makes me feel free. But yes, I would, it makes me feel free too. There's something about just peeing outside that is very liberating. I agree with you, Euphony. I agree with you. So back to what I was saying, and Alex has already said, shut up, I want my phone, bitch. Look, I get it. But your cell phone literally inundates you with more information than your brain can handle within a very short amount of time. Without a very short amount of time. And so when you're constantly just ingesting more, you're forgetting almost everything that you saw earlier in the day. And I think that we kind of have this idea with our cell phones where there's this little world in our phones that we are the gods of, right? And I'm not saying you particularly, but I am saying that there are many people out there, I think, that have gotten so accustomed to being the god of this little world that they expect this world to mirror that. And it doesn't, right? It doesn't. And, I think it's almost like this kind of conspiratorial thinking that has engulfed our nation and our world to a certain degree is a product of that. And so it would make you be a little more intentional about how you use your cell phone. And it would also keep you from overdoing it. And I think it actually, for your brain health, would be very good. But people would kill me if I were ever to impose that on them. So I get it, but that's what I would change. What would you change about the world if you could change one thing? Anarchy and Bedrock says no pants is the shit. No pants is pretty good. Walking, not feeling bound by pants is a very liberating feeling. I can agree with that. I can absolutely agree with that. But while you guys debate, if you have more you want to add, what would you do to change the world? What makes you feel free? Maybe we should go to hell and I could play you guys a little singy song while we're here, huh? Figure out what to play. Okay. I think I played this one on the stream before, but this is a song I wrote back in 2015. It's called Saints and Suffering. I waited for the hour to come when all the world could breathe, hoping for the cure to heal my heart. I need it now. Still I don't believe I wanna feel something that's more than momentary. I chased the face of love, I caught the devil on the breeze. Blooded by the hell of hatred, I found graceless gods, grateful in a maze. I wanna feel something that's more than monetary. In the war of no regrets, I'm hollowed out. It's brought me to my knees. Fake or real, make a deal. The odds are low. Hide the scars, stack the cards. It's time to go. I waited for the air to come when all the world could breathe, hoping for the cure to heal my heart. I need it now. Still I don't believe I wanna feel something that's more than ordinary. In the war of no regrets, I'm hollowed out. It's brought me to my knees. Fake or real, make a deal. The odds are low. Hide the scars, stack the cards. It's time to go. Yeah. The song is called Saints in Suffering. And speaking of suffering, our friend Anarchy and Bedrock has an answer to what they would do to change the world. I think maybe making it free for everyone to generate happiness in this world and keeping it low cost on the moon would be worthy change. Or let's end hunger. That's a good one. Cure all forms of suffering except for recreational suffering. And then make resources so abundant that no one need care to squabble over borders or differences of any kind. And let's be real. Let's be real. I think there's a really, really good point in there, which is so much of the pitting sides against each other and elites kind of harnessing the economic hardships of certain people to turn them against other people is a tale as old as time, and it's been done forever in the entire history of modern civilization. That is just such a bottom of barrel tactic that is used to inflame tensions and to get people divided. Because the truth is, division is what keeps us bound to these elites. For instance, in America, there's 100 senators, there's 300 and something House members. There's 330 million of us. 330 million. And somehow they find a way to continually pit us against each other and have us turned against each other and have us start quibbling over false, kind of false choices in a lot of ways. And we end up divided and very much not able to agree on anything, which keeps the status quo exactly as it is. And it does keep people fighting over borders and differences. And it's a real shame. It is the ultimate shame of humanity and civilized humanity that we cannot find a way to overcome and transcend those, whatever our regional or philosophical or even moral differences are. There are things that should clearly be in the best interests of everyone that we can't even agree on. I think 10 years from now, we'll be quibbling over whether there needs to be air to breathe. Some people will definitely not believe that we need it and that it's been a big con this whole time. We'll end up fighting about that. Meanwhile, we'll have governments looting us for everything we're worth as we do it. I mean, like I said, tale as old as time. Thomas TN543 is in the chat, everybody. Hey, what's up, my friend? A whole lot. We're just hanging out. We're just chatting. We're having a good time. Thomas, thank you for being with us. Naomi Bayomi Fayomi has also joined us in the chat and renewed her subscription, which has lasted now for 26 consecutive months. 26 consecutive months. Naomi, Alex F&V, and Ash Maddie, who I do hope will be rejoining us at some point in the future, have been our longest standing subscribers, and to each of them, I thank you so, so much. What we do here, you know, it really just started out, as trying to put a good message into the world, trying to take this idea of art as being a profession or being some kind of elite thing that only the super talented can do, trying to end some of that thinking. And we are just a little stream here on Twitch and YouTube and Converge Media. But damn it, that's how everything gets, that is the grassroots. That is how things get started. So I'm very, very proud of the work we've done here so far. But thank you all for supporting it. I mean, I think it's a very worthy message. That much I do know. But seriously, like, I can't tell you how much it really means to me and how much it touches me that we have this incredible community of people that have stuck with me, that have stuck with Blaze in Space, that have stuck with Weird at Night, and the kind of weird brand that we have cultivated since May of 2020. It's like pretty crazy. I'm gonna play another song. This is gonna be a cover. We're gonna do a little Bowie for you. Get the blood boiling a little bit. And thank you, Anarchy and Bedrock, for getting the topic in the chat there. Question is, once again, if you have one, if you want to answer this, what would you change in the world if you could change just one thing? If there was just one thing you could change, what do you think would make the biggest difference? Let me know. I'm an alligator. I'm a mama, papa coming for you. I'm a space invader. I'll be a rock and rollin' bitch for you. Keep your mouth shut. You're smoking like a big fucking bird, and I'm busting up my brains for all the words. Keep your electric on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space face close to mine, love. Freak out in a moon age daydream, oh yeah. Don't fake it, baby. Lay the real thing on me. The church of man love is such a holy place to be. Make me, baby. Make me know you really care. Make me jump into the air. Keep your electric on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space face close to my love. Freak out in a moon age daydream, oh yeah. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Yeah. Yeah. Some David Bowie Moon Age Daydream for you there, kiddos. Let me some David Bowie. Yes, Naomi Family says, pick only one change to the world. I can't handle the pressure. And then Anarchy and Bedrock says, pick one and say it, then just pick another one. That's a very valid thing to do. And Anarchy and Bedrock then says, you are not the same person you were 2 minutes ago. And you know what? I really do relate to that, my friend. I really, really do. But goddamn, feeling fired up. It feels good. Let me ask you a question. Can you think of a daily, everyday thing that hurts worse than stubbing your toe? Just like a daily pain kind of thing. Like, I'm not talking about, having to have major heart surgery. Just in your daily life, can you think of something that actually hurts worse than stubbing your toe? It really hurts. I can't think of one. I was trying to think of one earlier. So if you can think of one, let me know. I'm sure you guys are very creative. I'm sure you can figure it out. Also, when I was a child, I used to think that the word paralysis was pronounced paralysis. So when I would read it, in my head, I would think paralysis. And then when I was like 17, one day, I just had this weird realization is that I had never actually heard another human being say the word paralysis before, but I had heard them say paralysis many times, and it all came together when I was like 17 years old. It all came together in one terrible moment that I had been just saying the word wrong for 17 years. And that was, sometimes revelations can be huge, sometimes they can be small, and sometimes you can just feel like an absolute fucking idiot. And I am your fool, friends. I am your fool. And Better Kitty Meow just lost a whole bunch of respect for me. All right. So I asked, what daily pain is worse than stubbing your toe? And Euphony of the Month says running out of coffee, I apologize. Anarchy and Bedrock says sneezing wrong when you're over 40. I really feel that one. Alex Evan V says Charlie horses, which I can say, have you ever woken up with a cramp in your calf? Have you ever woken up with a terrible cramp in your calf and you literally feel like the muscles in your calf are exploding? They are blowing up inside your leg. Have you ever felt that way? I have. And let me tell you, it ain't fun. It's not what you want to do. But we do it. We do it sometimes. Alex FV says, yes, it happens to me often. Alex FV then says, the story about paralysis is more painful than stubbing your toe, dude. Very true. Alex FV also adds, I know, I need potassium. Don't we all? So, the questions I have posed to the group tonight so far. What makes you feel free? Alex said screaming the lyrics to one of her favorite songs makes her feel free. I said running has been a place where I feel very free. Once I get the momentum behind me, I feel so free. So what makes you feel free? And then if you could change the one thing about the world, what would it be? And yeah, I spelled that wrong and nobody even bothered to correct me. Jesus Christ! But I got a new one. Let's do a new one. Oh, here's a good one. You've never... Oops. Oh, man. I gotta start programming these ahead of time. Sorry, folks. What place do you most want to visit that you've never been to? What is a place that you most want to visit that you've never been to? Now, I suppose this could be like a theme. I mean, it could be Disneyland, or it could be an actual country or city or locale. Now, for me, I am hideously under-traveled for a person my age, okay? Okay, I have not traveled enough. But thinking a little bigger than that, okay? I've barely been to the East Coast. That's how little I've traveled in my life. But the place I would most want to go, there's two places. It's Ireland and Japan. Ireland and Japan. And they're different reasons why I would want to go to each. Ireland is where my people come from, okay? It's like the story of my family is in Ireland. It's my ancestral heritage. I am very, very fucking Irish with just a little pinch of German in there as well. And for Japan, it's just a land of fascination. It's technological innovation, fast-paced technology city, but it's also extremely traditional and rich with history. And there's literally monuments and shrines there that were built in like 400 AD that are still standing that people go to each and every day. Japan is absolutely fascinating, and I would be a liar if I didn't say that pro wrestling, specifically New Japan Pro Wrestling, wouldn't be a huge reason I'd want to go as well. Japanese pro wrestling is even cooler than American pro wrestling in a lot of ways. I've always wanted to attend Wrestle Kingdom, which is New Japan Pro Wrestling's biggest event of the year in January every year. But really, there's so many reasons I would love to go to Japan. So I see people. We got some stuff here. Let's see what people say. Alex F&V says London. I've never been to London either. I have to go to London too. Alex F&V. Let me ask you, Alex, what in London do you want to see the most? What is really exciting to you there? Anarchy and Bedrock responding to the free thing. What makes you feel free? But you know that last 5 minutes of sleep when you already woke up, but then you squeeze in some last winks? Yes, I do. And I know exactly what you're talking about. You're kind of in between the zone of awake and sleep. You aren't really asleep, but you're not totally awake either. And you're just laying there and you kind of like have been really comfortable for a while. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Anarchy and Bedrock then says Cambodia has some cool temples I wanted to see. Tell me about it. I mean, I would love to know more about that, or I'll just look it up. Actually, I'll look it up right fucking now. Give me just a sec. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Ah. All right. I'm going to pull this up. This is fun. I like being able to just jump around and do that a little more. All right. So we've got some pictures of some Cambodian temples here. Ooh, look at that. Jesus. That is fascinating. And beautiful. And just like a marvel of human creation. Wow. That is extraordinary. These are temples of Cambodia and Thailand that I'm showing you right now. I am terrible with geography, so I don't know exactly how close Cambodia and Thailand are together, but it seems to be they are pretty close. But yeah, no, there's some really, really cool stuff. Anarchy and Bedrock then says Easter Island, maybe. Hey, fair enough. Alex F&V says also France. So basically where I'm going in April. Because yes, as I recall, Alex F&V will be in France and London next year. That is super duper cool, Alex. Very, very excited. Then Alex also says, but also the Grand Canyon. I've never been to the Grand Canyon either. I would love to go. Euphony of the Month says, I think I'd pick Spain. Now I know Better Kitty Meow has been to Spain. Better Kitty Meow, what's cool about Spain? Can you tell us anything about it? Thomas TN543 says, Japan, yes, woo! I want to go to Japan too. Euphony of the Month says, WAN field trip. Would that not be amazing if we somehow ended up being some weird cult that just went everywhere together? I think it, I can see the drawbacks, but I can also see it'd be kind of fun. Thomas TN543, I want to go to Seoul. Fuck yeah. Seoul would be really incredible. Thomas, what in Seoul really attracts you to it? Thomas also says, I love New Japan Pro Wrestling. Well, Well, you're in the right place, my friend. New Japan Pro Wrestling, for anyone who has any curiosity about pro wrestling, and why would you? But if you did, watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. I can point you at some good matches. Naomi Bayomi Fayomi says, creating art and music can be a great way for feeling free if I don't get in my own way. I'll say that again. Creating art and music can be great for feeling free if I don't get in my own way. Friend, I think that's maybe the most relatable thing anybody has said. Yes, when you really let yourself go and you get in the zone with art and you're just trusting your intuition, it is amazing. And art can be the most liberating thing. When you're trying to do it for a professional purpose or on a deadline, or you're making art for someone else's purposes specifically, it's easy to get in your own way, especially if you're a chronic overthinker like me. So yeah, it is a crapshoot. It's a bit of a crapshoot, shall we say. Alex Evan V says, I want to see all the touristy things because I was supposed to go with my mom. So now I'm going to go for both of us. Absolutely, cousin. I know exactly what you mean. And I feel the same way about Ireland with my brother. In fact, a little part of my brother's going to come with me when I do go because I'm going to spread him out a little bit. And then Alex FNV says a travel cult. Hey, there's worse things. I mean, a travel cult sounds more fun than the cults Dartone has proposed. So I think we're onto something here, friends. Thomas TN543. Yep, woo! I want to go to South Seoul, Korea. And they have beautiful places and awesome food and K-pop. Woo! Very nice, Thomas. Very nice. You know, I was just talking about our creative impulses, so maybe it's time for us to do a little auto-write. Ha ha ha. Now, if you've watched Weird at Night, you know that we usually do the auto-write at the very end, but it's Find Your Weird, baby. We do whatever the fuck we want, whenever the fuck we want. So, right now, we're gonna do the auto-write. What is the auto-write? It's the tool of the surrealists, my friend. It's a little exercise that tries to approximate the surreal approach, where I'm going to count down from 10 as I do, try to clear your mind. When I get to 1, I'm going to say go. When I say go, we all start tippity-tippity typing. Whatever comes into your mind with no filter, okay? Do not spell correct it, don't edit it, don't try to sound smart. That's not the point, and it ruins everything. It ruins the whole intent of the thing. It's trying to get us to trust what just comes naturally, okay? So after about 30 or 45 seconds, I will say stop. When I say stop, we'll all hit enter or return on our keyboards. Everybody's auto-write shows up. We'll read them out loud, and then we'll move on to the next thing because we have some really cool shit still to come. So once again, I'm going to count down from 10 as I do. Try to clear your mind. When I get to 1, I'll say go. When I say go, we all start tippity-tippity typing whatever comes into our minds in the chat. And after about 30 or 45 seconds, I will say stop. We all hit enter or return. And everybody's auto-write shows up. We read them out loud. We have a good laugh, and we move on to the next cool shit we have to do. Just before we do that, though, Naomi Bayomi Fayomi says, Scotland. I recently found out that I'm 40% Scottish. As a fellow Scot, I'm definitely going to Scotland too, Naomi. It is a very beautiful place. And for a civilization that speaks English as a first language, Scottish is maybe the most difficult dialect or accent in the world to understand. So make sure you do a little prep before you go, okay? All right, now it's time to do this auto-write. I'm gonna start counting, try to clear your mind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Start typing whatever comes in your mind, folks. All right, and stop. Go ahead and enter a return on your keyboards. If you have an incomplete thought, that's kind of the name of the game. So I'll read mine while we wait for more to roll in. Whatever is whatever, and I'm pretty sure a stinky star just winked at me and told me not to be ashamed about my inability to recognize the word paralysis. That star is a goddamn liar, but I'm a free bitch with all the accoutrements of being a poor speller. I sold my soul to JCPenney's, but they were running a sale and said no thanks. I was disappointed, but eventually found understanding and lived a life free of worry. Anarchy! Oh, sorry, Alex F and V! Wiggle a bunch of scotch tape all around the Western Front and then tell me you don't see how Doc Martens aren't sportswear. You can't go wrong if you're on the public dime in a good old-fashioned Monopoly merger. Fuck Ticketmaster. 6 hours of my life given to a rabbit fox face Google box, and I don't even know your middle names. Give it up for a good panic. Anarchy and Bedrock. Are you kidding me, Wan? We have a NASA launch happening 30 seconds from now, and we are auto-riding while history is being made. I don't know what space program it is, but they say we are going to the moon, and I believe it's possible. Looking for group Earth. The next step is now. I'm all with you. I mean, space launches are dope. Euphony of the month. Skew diddly diddly bee. Ow. Mini bleep blue. Tic tac. Tickety fucking talk. Ear sandwich. Very good, Euphony of the month. Very good. Better kitty meow. I wanted to go to so many places and I can't choose just 1 or 2 or 10, but I can say southern Spain is so lovely. And also that cats should meet each other over Zoom, and I can't be the only person making these cat traductions. Naomi, Baomi, Faomi. I'm gonna build a tiny house in my mind where I can go take cozy breaks from the rest of my mind. It will be cedar to keep out the mind moths. That's nice. That's nice. Alex F&V says, you are a free bitch. Anarchy and Bedrock says, let's fucking go. Thomas TN543. When I was in high school, I never heard of K-pop, and my friend introduced me to K-pop, and I was like, oh my god, that was awesome. I love the music and dance. Woo! And now I'm a big fan of K-pop, like BTS, ATEEZ, and Twice, and other K-pop groups. Woo! Very nice, everybody. Very nice. Anarchy and Bedrock, let's be real though. LFG now can either mean let's fucking go, or it can mean looking for group. Like, can we at least, like, give an acronym a single meaning? Like, the English language is already confusing enough, and we can't even agree on acronyms anymore. It's really getting out of control. It's really getting out of control. No, great auto rights, everybody. Absolutely great auto rights. Now, to close things down tonight, somebody from the Waniverse did something very fucking cool today. Very fucking cool today. Terry Monstrosity made his debut as a guest with my homie, Trey Holiday, on Converge Media's The Day with Trey. And we've seen Terry so many times here on Weird at Night, Find Your Weird, etc., etc. But we've never gotten a chance to really sit down and get to know the man. And so tonight, I have his entire appearance with Trey for you to watch, and I'm very, very stoked. So without further ado, Terry Monstrosity with Trey Holiday.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Day with Trey. I'm really excited. I mean, we're already now talking about The Wiz. Y'all, it's coming here. Make sure you guys get your tickets. Welcome back, everybody, to The Day with Trey. I'm really excited. I mean, we're already now talking about The Wiz. Y'all, it's coming here. Make sure you guys get your tickets. And shout out to the whole Converge team who's going to be out there in Portland. That sounds like an amazing event. I'm trying to figure out how to make it work with my schedule. I told you, Cuddy, I'm trying to get there. Anyways, I want to welcome my next guest to the show. Terry Moore is here. What's up, Terry?
Hey. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you for being here. I love my bros over at Weird at Night. Like, they're my peoples, right? And I've seen you on there several times doing your drops. Tell us a bit about the start of your musical journey.
Man, I've been out here for my whole life, born and raised in Seattle, and I've always kind of just been someone who's been an ancillary piece in different musical groups. I've been in several bands, and I just have always felt like, you know, representation, like you guys were talking about earlier, is something that matters. So the only way that you can do that is really get into it yourself and create that lane. I've never adhered to the stereotypical parts of hip hop that people see. So I always wanted to have that. And I know that there's people out there who happen to embody Blackness who don't necessarily adhere to what's put out there. Mm-hmm. And so in order for those people to feel comfortable enough to come out of their shell, I feel like you have to be that beacon, right? And so that's the birth of my entire ideology with the music. Mm-hmm. Everything you hear me do, it's all from the space of originality, but without gimmick. And that in itself is a gimmick. I'm really a regular guy, right? And that's what everything embodies with what I'm putting out here. But it's very alternative influenced, grungy, raw. That's what my music is.
Well, I've heard some of your music, and I gotta say, you infuse a lot of different kinds of messaging in your music. And, you know, for me, any artist who's putting their artwork out there to the world, you got to be saying something, right? Yep. And oftentimes it's like, you got to be saying something different. What I really appreciate about, you know, what you do in the lane that you pave is that you're not trying to mimic what, you know, major labels are doing right now or what artists are doing. And I think we need so much more of that, honestly, Terry. Like, there is such a huge hunger, I think, for us to go back to the kind of origination of hip hop, which was this positive messaging infused in it, right? It was something that was uplifting and empowering to people. And we do not hear that right now on the radio, man.
Unfortunately.
You know, I mean, it's real. Tell us a bit about that state, because, you know, for you to pave your own lane, to do things even like Weird at Night, right? To even be a character on there is like totally mind blowing, because they're like, yeah, we're up here, we're uplifting amazing talent, but you found a way to bring your work to that set, and it is such a beautiful whole environment. Just tell us a bit about some of your experience working with the Weird at Night crew.
Thank you. Thank you for that. The Weird at Night crew is great. Those are a bunch of individuals who are unafraid to test boundaries and actually express genuinely. That's what's lacking, is genuineness. People every day are out here, they feel a certain way about things. And because we deal with societal norms and how we are, it's hard to express those things in conversation without that fear of being not canceled, because that wasn't always a thing, but that's what we can call it now, right? So with those guys, I feel open. They've been one of the few people who've seen my work and actually like given me flowers while I'm here and trying to spread it out there. So to me, the only way to repay that is to be as genuine, be consistent, and give them something to be proud to share. Right. Again, I met Blazing Space through the band I used to perform with a lot, Barax, who was led by Shayna Shepherd. I know a lot of you guys know who she is. And he did a lot of visual work. He volunteered to do videos for me. He just put himself out there. And it kind of reinvigorated my spirit and let me know that it's like, man, it's okay. It's okay to be what I've been being. I don't have to adhere to these boxes. That's a lot of the ideology or the thinking in my music.
Yeah.
Right. And you've heard that, as you said before, that's all it is. So working with those guys has really opened up a way for me to show that Blackness encompasses everything.
Yeah.
And we're trying to, like you said, step back into the originality of hip hop and what it was, the positive momentum forward, helping impoverished people, help other people.
Yeah.
It's about doing that. Right. So I feel like the only way to continue our genre forward with respect is to bring that plethora of ideals out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, nowadays the digitization of music and our world in general means that a musician such as yourself, there's a ton of different platforms. I just talked about over 200 podcast platforms, right? Like the idea is that you get to infuse your music in different ways, like on a show like Weird at Night to showcase what you do is one of those great gems that I think we're living in. But also sometimes it's an inundation of like options for people. You know, how have you found as a musician, you know, putting your work out there so the public can hear it? What are some of the things that you think have really been beneficial to you in that way?
Basically just the ability to even simply put something in front of your friends. I know that a lot of the advice that musicians or people give is to not really rely on your local area to support you because you'll be disappointed, and that's true.
Yeah.
But to have that immediate feedback and people either like or they don't like it, or you see how it moves, just seeing that just gives you the confidence to keep going. Realizing that the goal should not always be the destination, it's the journey, which is a life thing. You just create. You just have to create. And then the more things and avenues you find to put it out on, you should just do that. That's what I've learned. I've been a shelled person for a long time until the last few years where it was like, okay, I have something here. I've done things in the past. Why am I resisting success? And success is only defined by your actual growth, right? I don't have to look to a Hollywood status to say that I'm successful in what I've done. It's just impacting the individuals I impact with my messaging, which is humanity's messaging.
Yeah, no, and that for me is everything. Even with me on this show, I'm always talking about creating impact media, man. If something I'm doing, somebody I'm having an interview with and having a discussion with is doing some inspiration, is inspiring me, it's inspiring others, like that's the goal, right? And so when I know I'm meeting that goal, I'm like, I'm good, you know, I'm straight. One of the things I really appreciate, though, about the musical world is kind of what you've been describing with the crew at Weird at Night and what you just described there in terms of your friends and like having a base. It really is like you work with other musicians and things become like a family. It's like there's such a tight-knit community of amazing musicians here that a lot of musicians are now coming to Seattle to kind of tap in to that brilliance and tap into that, you know, that kind of community of music, talent, and ability that's right here. So with you being from here, I'm sure you've been able to experience that, but I love how you describe it as such. It's something that I'm always thinking about when I'm talking to a musician. I'm like, there's something very specific about the Seattle music scene. So I love that you haven't given up on us as fans. I know it's a lot of hard work, but I really thank you for putting your work out there. I want to make sure I give you time to let the folks know how to find your amazing work. You can look right there. Let them know how they catch up with you, Terry.
You can go to terrymonstrosity.com, or you can also go to Bandcamp, terrymonstrosity.bandcamp.com. I'm also on every streaming platform like everybody else is. So you can just type that name in. I'm the only one, thankfully. And yeah, go check it out. It's really just something I feel like everybody would appreciate. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a different sonic sound. It's just something that you can take in and move on from. You don't have to be afraid if your kids walk in for the explicit lyrics. Your grandma could listen to it. Yeah, there's a couple cuss words, but it's not like that. It's just for emphasis. Other than that, I got the new Rent Nom project coming with Lex Lingo and Mind the Villain. Be on the lookout for that. We have some singles up on YouTube.
Amazing. Terry Monstrosity in the building.
Thank you.
Terry Moore, thank you so much for being with me. And thank you for not being in your shell and bringing your music out so all of us can be inspired, be a fan, and listen to some great music. I appreciate you joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
God damn. God damn, I love Terry Monstrosity. You know, Terry is somebody that the first time I heard him, I was immediately hooked on his message, his flow, the beats. I love who he works with on his stuff. Terry and I actually are talking about working on some stuff again. We've talked about this a few times, but I actually have a few tracks that I'd love to have him on, and I think we're going to be doing a collab here coming up. But much more importantly, Terry is a dude with purpose. Terry is a guy with a perspective, and he, I think, gets a little annoyed at the overall kind of glib characterization of Black culture. And he is a guy who is really trying to challenge status quo and trying to challenge the conventional way that people perceive Black entertainers. And somebody that I've drawn a tremendous amount of inspiration of, and I think he didn't say this specifically in his story, but we have never met in person. Terry Monstrosity and I have literally worked together for 2.5 years, and we have never met in person. That is really powerful stuff, and that speaks very highly of him and the kind of work he does. So please do support Terry Monstrosity. I think you can see from that video, he is absolutely one of the good guys and somebody that you should be throwing your support behind. Plus, he's really fucking good. So we're gonna go out tonight with a video that we have one time run on Weird at Night, but I loved it so much I wanted to run it again. This is a video by a band called Sea Life. And the track is called Apartment 6. I love the video. I think you're gonna love it too. Join me this Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific for Weird at Night episode 225. But until then, friends, enjoy this video by Sea Life, and I'll be seeing you real goddamn soon.
Do you wanna feel better? Don't you wanna feel blue? Do you wanna feel better? You know what you gotta do. Do you wanna feel happy? Don't you hate being the fool? Do you wanna feel happy or happy? Let's go out and break some rules. Do you wanna feel better? Don't you know I wanted to? Fun and rain and sunny weather, like we always used to do. Do you wanna feel better? Don't you hate being the fool? Baby, you and me together, there ain't nothing we can't do.
Can I go ahead and extend your left leg towards the front of you?